Alright, y'all, a little update on the old bow fishing rig. I've been using it quite a bit, fishing and turkey hunting. See, the deck is real dirty. Still haven't got hydroturf for it yet. I've put some screws in to cut down on the rattling. The framing is, it's all right. It's not as good as I'd hoped. See, there's a piece floating around on the floor somewhere that fell out of the bottom. I had to go back and use orange Loctite on some of these because a couple of them started backing out. And they haven't backed out since, which is good, but the brackets do kind of slip. See that gap there? There's a gap there. Those bolts are tight, but it's kind of worked its way loose, like the bracket slid out a little bit. So I could probably throw a little Loctite in between there to keep it from sliding. If I had to go back and redo this, I'd probably just hire someone to weld aluminum tubing instead of this, but so far it works good. It's pretty solid. You can sit up on the railing and it's pretty dang solid. Just a few minor issues, and also it's real heavy. With one or two people, the boat planes out fine, but you get 3 or 4 people on here and it doesn't want to plane. It's got so much weight up front, it has trouble. Have to trim it up a little bit more than you'd think to keep it on plane, but the motor's actually bogged down. I don't have a tack installed, but I can tell it's not reaching its full RPMs with this 14-inch prop pitch. So I went and bought a 12-inch pitch. We're gonna swap that out now. Just gotta pull that cotter pin out and back that castle nut off, and it should be an easy change. And we'll see how it does with the 12. We should get a little more RPM, a little better hole shot. I imagine if the engine revs higher, it will probably still get similar top end speed. It's going about 25 with just me in it. So it's a little much for this 60 horse, but other than that, the motor runs good. I'm gonna take it out today on a test run with this new prop. Little tip, if you've never changed a prop before, wedge a 2x4 in there when you're tightening or loosening it. Then you can crank down on it. Where's the hole? There it is, lined up perfect. Put the cotter pin back in. Got that pin in that castle nut that keeps it from backing out. And now we got 12-inch pitch instead of 14. Hopefully she doesn't bog down as much and runs a little better. We don't want this thing, it's just blowing a lot of soot. We don't want it to be bogging down. It's not good for the motor. So lower pitch prop, less top end speed, but I think it'd probably be about the same because the motor will be able to run wide open, hopefully. We're gonna find out. We're gonna take her out on the water today. All right, another thing I gotta do here is drill a 1/4-inch hole right in the middle of the console. I got this swivel mount for a camera on Amazon. I got a link in the description. It's like 10 or 12 bucks. Ryan put one on his boat when we fished the tournament, and now I'm putting one on my boat for the 360 cam. Got a GoPro Max on a telescoping monopod that will screw into this, and it's a ball joint, so if you go under tree limbs, hits your camera, it'll bend back instead of breaking anything. This is the base. It's got a hot shoe or cold shoe mount for like a camera, but the main thing is these 2 round nuts. You just tighten them down up underneath, and we don't want it backing out when we're on rough water, so put a little dab of blue Loctite on. This goes up here, come up underneath. Just simple hand tighten. This little nut here, you can swivel it. That's not going to be necessary. We'll keep that tight. And then it's got a knob. You loosen that, ball mount. So even when it's tight, when you got that 3 or 4 foot pole sticking up and you hit a tree, it'll bend. It won't break the pole or bend the console. So it worked great on Ryan's boat, and I'll be using this to film some of my bow fishing trips. Those fishing trips will be on the main channel, not this channel, so go over to Catman Outdoors if you want to watch any of the fishing trips, anything like that. But that's very simple and cheap install there for the GoPro. So the 12-inch prop pitch, it runs way better, actually opens up. Still get the same top end speed, about 25 miles an hour, maybe a little more, maybe 1 extra mile an hour because we got 2 people. Runs good. We got a lot of trash on the river, gotta be careful.
Did you see that fish jump right in front of the boat?
Well, I had the boat out fishing the last 2 nights. Last night was terrible. I didn't get any video because we only shot like 5 or 6 fish. Didn't catch anything on the jugs either, but I did have one little issue with the lights here. The back ones, they light up, but barely. From here back and then all the way up to this whole part of the strip that goes around the back half of the boat barely lights up. Actually, right now, no, it is lighting up a little bit. But I guess that's what I get for buying $30 strip lights. All the ones on Amazon that I found were like 30 bucks, give or take. So, oh, this here's damaged. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Something must have ran into it there. So it could be my fault or somebody on the boat's fault. I don't know if that has to do with it or not, but it stops over there for some reason. But there's the splice right there where you can cut it. So maybe it's just this whole section's affected. Maybe it is this. I just noticed this now. I wonder if I could cut it here and splice in a new piece. I don't know. I've got extra strips. If I can figure a way to splice it, I can just repair the back half that's broken. Otherwise, I may have to strip this whole thing off and clean the adhesive off and get some new lights. But I don't know. If any of y'all know of a good brand of LED strip lights that are high quality, I'll pay more for them just to have ones that'll last, that are maybe a little more durable. If anybody here knows of a good brand that I should look at, drop a comment, because I may have to end up tearing these out and redoing them. But it's not affecting the functionality of the boat, it just doesn't look as cool. So, oh well, at least we're running good. This thing ran great. We had 3 people on the boat last night and it still got up to full speed. We're doing about 26, 27, so I'm happy with it. If I want to go faster, we need to go up to maybe a 90, but that is for another time. Motor's running great. Everything seems to be fishing good. Got those batteries charging. So I'll catch y'all later.